right. Good Monday afternoon, everyone. Thanks for stopping by for a check of your forecast. It is July 21st, year of our Lord 2025. Tracking a couple of thunderstorms, really just one right now. There are a few more that will likely try and develop here as we get into this afternoon and evening. But right now, it's just the one thunderstorm, and it is severe warned, believe it or not. Warned for 60-mile-an-hour winds and some nickel-sized hail, so not expecting the hail size to be severe. But we do have that one storm that continues to be a noisy and a feisty one, certainly overachieving compared to the conditions that are relatively available for these storms to work with. Going to go ahead and get this shared with a couple of other places, and then we'll go ahead and get things started here momentarily. But we'll probably start here in a minute or two. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we're taking a look at that Pantex camera there in Highland Park. So this is on the east side of Amarillo, and looking east, you can see we've got this thunderstorm here on the left-hand side of the image. We've also got a few other towers starting to billow up as well. This is, again, the first storm that we had over here on the left-hand side, but we'll probably start to see some additional storm development as we get into the rest of the evening hours. I do want to show you our satellite imagery. This is just infrared. You can see where that one storm blew up real quick. Again, you can see those oranges and reds. That's just the cloud top temperatures indicating that it's really cold aloft. And so that's a very good indicator that it is strong, if not a severe storm. And right now warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds. And you can make out, again, some other clouds trying to form here on the eastern side of the Texas Panhandle. It looks like there's maybe a cell coming into Donley County. That one could maybe become the next one to watch here over the short term. And then we've got a few other towers that are slowly starting to develop. Generally speaking, these storms will stay below severe limits, but we do have that one feisty one out there pretty close to Pampa, which we'll take a look at here in a second. But there it is. From a broad view, that's the only really nasty storm that we've got. And then we've got a few more to the southeast. So taking a closer look at that, it's just gone through Cargray, Skellytown. You guys are about to see probably some very heavy rain out of this storm. If you're in Pampa, the rain is going to stay west of town, but you are dealing with the outflow boundary, which has just surged through the community. So you're probably dealing with some of those stronger winds. That's why you have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect there in Gray County for the community until 4:15 p.m. Winds gusting as high as 60 miles per hour. So that is the noisiest storm right now. It's pretty hot out there. It's 97 here in Amarillo. It's 101 in Childress, 100 degrees in Hereford, and dew points are in the 50s and 60s. So we'll see how efficient some of these storms are at producing some rainfall, expecting rain rates to be as high as 1 to 2 inches per hour. Another thing that we're keeping an eye on is the Canadian River. This is its current level. It's at 3.56 as of the last update there at the gauge. Current flow rate is at 775 cubic feet per second. If you equate that to a flow rate per hour, it's about 64 acre feet an hour. So it's got a sizable amount of water flowing underneath the bridge there on US 87 there north of Amarillo. It is forecast to crest above action stage. Now, the river is not expected to reach flood stage over the next couple of days, but with all that water that came out of Revolto Creek early last weekend on Friday into Saturday, that's really this water that we're dealing with, is all that rain that we had late last week finally making its way downriver and closer to Lake Meredith, but expecting it to crest probably at or just above action level which is a bit above 6 feet. So not quite flood stage, but those that do plan on maybe going up there this week I know there's some people that go swim up there, and there's some people that take their ATVs and 4x4s and just, go around and have a good time. Just be cautious. Again, the water is going to be higher than normal. So just make sure that you are being, very attentive to what you're doing and where your kids and where your family members are at. As far as the outlook for today goes, it's just a general thunderstorm risk. We really don't anticipate much severe weather. There is that one severe warning storm out there, but generally speaking, 95% of these storms will stay below severe limits, aside from maybe some sporadic wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're kind of stuck in the same pattern. That's really what we expect, is just isolated thunderstorms to pulse up. They're going to produce some rain in some localized areas. Most of us don't have rainfall, though, over the course of this week, but there will be a few that probably pick up 1 to 2 inches of rain. It's just going to come down to if you get lucky and get caught underneath some of these thunderstorms. And that's really how the next 7 days are going to play out. Once we get to the peak of daytime heating, thunderstorms will try and pop up on an isolated level. The further west you go, probably the better your chance will be, generally speaking, just given that you're going to be further away from the ridge of high pressure. And then Wednesday, going to play out fairly similarly. You can see storms trying to pulse up in the afternoon as we get a disturbance to pass aloft. And again, they should be isolated. Not everyone is going to see rain, but we will see probably pockets of precipitation. So here's the overall flow aloft. You can see that ridge of high pressure just kind of centered specifically over the Carolinas and back over the southeast. We do get somewhat of a closed isobar, just some weak high pressure just centered on top of Oklahoma and North Texas. So that is going to keep those temperatures a little bit above normal. That'll be the main takeaway for the next 7 days. The monsoon moisture will continue through Arizona and New Mexico. It may be very sporadic, but you're going to continue to see some of those daytime thunderstorms out there in the mountains, especially off the Sangre de Cristos here closer to home. But again, we probably will mostly stay dry. Temperatures will be the big theme moving into the last few days of the month. There's a 60 and 70% chance that we'll be above normal for our temperatures actually as we get closer to the end of July. There's even some suggested deterministic models that we might get close to 100 degrees and maybe even into the low 100s as we jump out of July and into August. So we will see if that happens. If we get some good rain, over the city or over some of these isolated pockets, some of those areas may not quite get to those triple digits, but there's definitely going to be some hot weather out there. Hottest we've seen so far this year, got to 99 yesterday here in Amarillo. So we still have not yet hit 100 degrees, but we are getting very, very close. And I think it's probably only a matter of time before it occurs or happens. Whether it's late July or early August, inevitably it probably will get here at some point. It's very rare for us not to see triple digits for a whole summer, but it can happen. But again, we're not in as wet of a pattern as we were in 2015, which is the last time that we did not reach 100 degrees in the thermostat here in Amarillo. And we need a lot more rain to continue in order for that to happen. That is all we've got for you this afternoon. Again, we just got the one storm that is severe warned up there in the northwest corner of Gray County, northeast section of Carson County. Zooming in, you can see Skellytown, really southeast of Skellytown, seeing the heaviest precipitation, but you do have that outflow boundary out here that's starting to surge away from the storm. As it continues to push out away from this cell, that storm's going to collapse. So don't expect it to maintain its core for much longer, another 30 to 45 minutes. After that, that storm will probably be kaput or pretty well worked over and put out. Got a few other cells down there in the southeast. These will be some additional ones to watch, and we are watching some additional cumulus fields build back over here just to the southeast of Amarillo and Canyon, so that may be another area to watch here over the next 2 to 3 hours on if we can maybe get some storms trying to develop. But that is all we have. We will jump back live if we need to this evening. Otherwise, should just be a hot day with a few of those sporadic